Hell, fuck weed eating. You ever had a 67 Ford? Cause I have. God damn it.
Part 8 of getting things ready for the Flag Friday here. So in order to get the flags on the poles, we're going to use chain links and we're going to weld them to the top. Okay, so now it's the next morning and you can see we do have the chain links on there, and then I just put a carabiner on there so you can put the flag on the carabiner. In the next part, we'll paint both of these and put some flags on them.
I'm getting a lot of questions about the camo casket, so I figured I'd show it to you. It's solid oak, which means it's very heavy. And the interior is the camo. And this will run you about $3,000 at our funeral home. Somewhere else, it'll probably run you maybe $5 or $6. So again, do your research.
I owe it all to my blue-collar roots. Feel like I'm working overtime on a runaway train. I got to bust loose from this ball and chain. I'm a hard-working man.
You just gotta fucking... That does not sound good. This ivermectin paste. This might be why I haven't got COVID yet. Apple flavored. You're gonna love it, Jeremiah. Yeah. There we go. He got wormed when he was at BLM, but it's time for another dose, and next time he'll probably need a quest of some kind. So anyway, but yep, this stuff keeps the doctor away. A little bit of ivermectin, but don't let Facebook catch you saying that. They'll kick you off like they did me.
Well, if it isn't the consequences of my own actions. What's up? What's up? Trying to...
When I started it up yesterday and the belt broke, I think that was the thing. It quit on me, and I just started it back. I flipped the switch and it started again. So.
Yeah, I don't know if there's grease on this sensor. I'm gonna go wipe it off again. Maybe it's too far off. Maybe the sensor needs to be set down.
What do you think's wrong with it?
I think the speed sensor's kicking in.
What did you do to make the alarm stop going off?
I wiped the sensor off so it didn't have dirt and grease covering it. Because it's a magnetic gate. It says that the shaft is not turning. If the shaft isn't turning, you're plugging the inside of this combine. And that's why they shut the combine down, because they didn't want stupid people.
They really ought to start playing porn on these things so you can watch somebody else get fucked while you are.
Hard work, got another day's of work. Hard work, that's what they say. Hard work, I earn my pay. Hard work, get off the block, I move on down. Got to go, make the call. Hard work, bring it on the door.
When a hailstorm is coming but you have a long bed.
Every time we open the freezer, this little guy likes to sit in here.
So I noticed every time I take a shower, I was getting shocked when I would touch anything metal. So we have the voltmeter. It's at 0 currently. I'm going to ground myself and stand in the shower, right? Holding the red or the black for the ground. And we are rocking 70 volts in the shower. Take it off, drops down. Put it back on. Take it off. Put it back on. I don't know.
So I've been working on my pickup for a little over a year now, right? Because I had an elk. Here's a picture. Yep. Yeah, I had an elk. It was pretty fun and ended up totaling it. And then one of my friends was like, well, we can put it back together because I work on cars. I know what I'm doing. So I was like, okay, that's fine. So he even helped me find all the correct parts that I needed, which was great. But he decided to fucking dip when he got a girlfriend, which I guess is normal for me. So I decided to become a YouTube mechanic and put all this shit together myself. Well, I had her up and running last week and she was doing just fine, and now she's not doing just fine. So now I have to take this bitch into the shop to figure out what the fuck I did wrong because I cannot figure it out. I bought parts anyways, so we're gonna ding around with it. I need a pay estimate anyways, which is fine, but I don't know anything about vehicles, okay? My grandpa's a mechanic and he lives in Idaho, so he's like, I can't see it, so I can't help you. This is why I'm a welder. I'm a welder, not a mechanic. Don't trust people.
Well, this is our little shoot rig for the night. Ain't pretty, but it ought to work.
Here, negative on 60, pocket 85, on 60, better on 60, pocket 85, 60, better on 60, medical on 65, racing better on, apple on that one, apple on 60, better on 2, get the 2, get the 3, get the 3, get the 3, 3, 3, that's 2, apple on 3, 4, apple on 5, that's 60, better on 60, pocket 60, better on 64, 65, 60, better on 64.
You know, I've seen some pretty badass shit in my days, but I've never, ever seen a super brigadier. Super.
Got my letter in the mail. They want me to cut down the male rows and leave the females so that the females won't get pollinated. And then they want me to burn the field off this fall once it dies to offset the carbon because I got overpaid for my carbon credits.
Let me show y'all something that trash compactor companies do not want y'all to know. They got fire ports on them. Hardly any of them will have the cap to cover it up. You know why? They want you to get rain in there so they can charge you more to dump it. The government don't want you to know this, but they charge you by the weight.
All right, now it's time for just a normal oil change, right? Huh? Huh? Well, how the heck am I supposed to lift this up, boy? Wait a minute. Well, we found one of the problems. Wait. Isn't that just about dumb as a box of rocks right there, I tell you what.
Look, red, white, blue. They're all trucks. Look at that. We got a Ram, and a Ford. This is America, baby.
Guys, he just fucked up. The kids are sleeping. And he stepped on the chicken. Ray's all slowly. Oh no.
He just takes the tractor another round and pulls a plow across the ground and sends up another prayer. He says, Lord, I never complain, I never ask why, please.
And so that's when the bolt started getting cross-threaded real bad?
Oh, well, damn. Well, how'd you get it out?
Get it out? What you mean, my boy?
Oh, you got
to see it through, my boy. Sent that bad boy with 2 uggers and a dugger.
When it's Friday the 13th and you're on the 18th disturbance call.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna leave.
Well, out here at the hog farm unloading, trying to beat this shit. Gonna be a fun day. But let me show you a little tip of the trade with unloading DDGs out of a end dump. Now, anybody that's watched my last video saw how that floor looked in that end dump. Nice and wavy. So DDGs don't like coming out of anything to begin with, but especially if you don't have a liner and your floors are all washboarded. Let me show you a little trick though here. What do you think of that, huh? Got this nice little hopper bin here. Just back it off on the grain locks, and you can just hear it going shh, 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 sliding down nice and slow. Going into the leg, going up to the pit, or the bin. But like I said, gotta beat that nasty crap. See what happens.
And so that's when the bolt started getting cross-threaded real bad?
Oh, well, damn. Well, how'd you get it out?
Get it out? What you mean, my boy?
Oh, you got
to see it through, my boy. Sent that bad boy with 2 uggers and a dugger.
Alright, little deployment story time from the last tour that we were just on in OIR. Last week, my little sister Jamie sent me a text message saying happy anniversary of our AC going out. Now at the time, at the end of July, we went about 16 days without any sort of power except for 2 hours a day to be able to charge radio batteries on our outpost. We had a horrible generator that couldn't run longer than 2 hours in a 24-hour period, so we had no AC. But the kicker to July 28th, 2020 was we went on our trip to the store, which was one of our longest ones that we did while we were in that AO. Right after we hit our turnaround point, as we were heading back to our outpost, the AC belts decided to completely shred themselves on our RG. Roughly 2.5 to 3 hours away from camp, going normal speed, and anybody that knows an RCP knows that there is no normal speed with an RCP, we had to start dealing with the fact that it was 115 degrees out, and we had no air conditioning at all in our truck. It got to the point to where the TC of the vehicle opened his door to keep airflow through the truck. Luckily, we had an open gunner, so he was able to get airflow, and Jamie was driving, and I was the dismount / gyrocam operator in the back. What ensued over the next 3 hours was by far the most miserable and horrible experience that I've ever had during a deployment. The whole time back, we're begging and pleading over the radio with our convoy commander to just roll through our NIIs. It doesn't make any sense for us to slow down and do a 5-mile-an-hour clearance because we were hot and sweaty. And there's only so much water that you can hold inside an RG, and I'm pretty sure that we were out of drinks and fluids in that RG. Anytime the lead Vic came over the radio stating, entering NAI, the cusses, screams, and screw yous that came out of our truck were insane. We finally managed to get back to camp, excited about the fact that we were going to be able to get out of this truck and get some air conditioning. Then reality hit us that we were going back to no power, no air conditioning, no running water. Our gunner, Vic, was so sweaty that he could probably wring his pants out like washcloth. Scogan was all right because of the fact that he had his door open, driving through a combat zone with airflow. Jamie needed an IV because she fell out of the truck as soon as we got back to the camp and couldn't move and started cramping up. And myself, I bailed out of the back and never wanted to get back into that truck again for the rest of the tour. Needless to say, July 28th will always be an anniversary celebrated between our gun truck, and it'll always be something to laugh at.
I've got 60 tires between the tractor and this trailer. I come into your tire shop 5 minutes before you close and want all these tires rotated. What do?
This right here in Minnesota is how us rednecks, we flaunt our wealth.
I'm so fucking sick of being goddamn fat. I just want to be skinny. I want to fit in their little skinny shorts.
I feel like this one's more common knowledge, but another tip and trick is a bush hog blade will last for fucking ever. But if you still take a side grinder to it, oh my God, does it cut like butter.
You want to know what's funny? My dogs will hop over that wall. That's why we had to put the fences up. They'll hop over that wall. That's why we had to put those up. But they won't hop over this cooler.
Hour and a half from the house, ran out of DOT hours. What the hell are you doing, Scooter?
An hour and a half from sleeping in my own damn bed. What the hell do you think I'm doing?
You know that's against DOT violations, right?
Listen, the DOT is not out right now. It's 7 o'clock at night. And we don't need this fucking thing. They don't need to track us. We're going home.
10 minutes later.
Country roads, take me home to the place I belong, West Virginia, Mountain Mile.
I unloaded my shit that was on my tractor. I let my buddy borrow it so he can unload hay. He's got like 600 bales that's got to unload and stack here, and that little tractor right there ain't big enough to do it. But he's a friend. I've done work for him, and the main thing is he's the biggest cattle producer in the county, and I build fence and I mulch and I bush hog and stuff like that for a living. So why would it not be in my best interest to let him borrow it for a while? It is. So he's borrowing it. Hopefully I'll get a lot of business out of it because he knows everybody in the county. Yeah!
It's actually a new category of bait. It's not a swim bait. It's not a jig. It's not a spinner bait. It's a recoil bait, and it's the first of its kind. When you load the lure and then let it go, it launches itself through the water column. On top of that, when you set the hook, it does a full 180 turn inside the fish's mouth.
Neil, I just had the bright idea to get back at my sister for parking in the driveway if she doesn't leave right now. You know the thing that's been going on TikTok where you zip tie on the crankshaft to make it sound like there's something wrong with it? I have zip ties in my truck.
If you want a real experience and care to test your luck, just go out and buy yourself a used log truck. You can pick one up off most any lot. Nothing down, mortgage everything you got. Then you get your permits and your PUCs, and you feel like a king, about as tall as the trees. The world's a ripe cherry ready for you to pluck, because at last you've got your own used log truck. Well,
This is where the truth don't lie. You find out who your friends are. Somebody's gonna drop everything, run out and crank up their car. Hit the gas, get there fast, and stop to think what's in it for me. Or it's way too far. They just show on up with their big old heart. You find out who your friends are.
Wait, Cameron! Throw us a riff!
There's a long black train coming down the line, feeding off the souls that are lost and crying. Rails of sin, only evil remain. Watch out, brother, for that long black train. Look to the heavens, you can look to the skies. You can find redemption staring back into your eyes. There is protection and there's peace the same.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is my wife's 2016 Silverado. It's got new tires put on today. This truck's got 125,000 miles. I don't know if you can see that. 125,000. Put these tires on today, pretty much the same ones I had on before, which when I put them on, 31,000 miles back in 2017. These are the new tires. Toyo's Open Country AT3s. Which tells you that these old tires, which still has some tread on them, 95,000 miles. Best tire I've ever owned. Check it out.
How did it go?
She stole like a gallon of my blood, and I think she's gonna sell it.
Okay, so they did a heartworm test.
She tried to cut my feet off, I think.
And you got a nail trim.
She stabbed me.
And you got a shot, yep.
Oh, so I don't feel sick, but that lady stuck.
She took your temperature.
You wasn't there, you don't know.
So it went well.
This right here is a no-spill gas can. I used to think that these things right here were like the best gas cans until I made the switch over to Sure cans. You can't even get all the gas out of these, but the Sure cans, you can get 100% all the gas, no splashback in your face or anything like that. Way heck of a lot easier to fill up your stuff and not overfill it at all. Sure cans is where it's at.
Girls are always like, damn, you have such a high sex drive. Sorry, I'm a mechanic. I'm just used to being fucked. Another video of me fucking bailing out there in that field. Both of those fields. Finished it, made a shitload of bales. I knew that whenever I left I didn't really have enough twine, but I didn't expect it to make that much. I kept expecting it to run out whenever we were making it, and I kept looking back and it was making good bales. Well, pulled it back at the shop. One ball, and the end of this twine is literally right here. It wouldn't have been able to make another bale. That is crazy. Talk about timing.
We out here somewhere down in Georgia at the Comfort Inn. Room 217, pull up. No one's in here. So apparently they put us in the wrong room because that's somebody else's shit. So okay then. Toothbrush and shit.
That's how you do it, shit. Like.
Smell musty up here now. Room 417, pull up. We in the right room this time. Alright, this place kinda nice, you know what I'm saying? This room kinda nice. Check the mattress. Oh, dang, clean.
Fold up.
Clean. Oh. Gotta get that AC ice cold, bro. Check out that fridge, boy. Damn. Bathroom look alright.
I got a real good deal on stuff. Just look past all the dents and rust. Rolling on factories, a little low on antifreeze. You'll have to roll them windows down if you want to test drive it around. No heat or AC, got a big hole in the seat. Yeah, all them other cars you wanna buy might make it downtown, but you look like the kind that likes a deal, and that's what you found. Oil pressure's low, so the motor blows some smoke. I got it from a guy at the river. The trunk still smells like chicken livers. If you buy it now, we can deliver. Sometimes it pulls to the right, but the transmission is tight.
Customer said she thinks there's a nail in her tire because of construction in her neighborhood. Brand new. When you're fishing, but your hunting instincts take over. One back for my stashed Hot Wheels. My first treasure hunt. Harder than I make it look, I'm tired, Grandpa. My partner can't keep up.
Cause somebody got popped, now they knocking on doors trying to find an informant. But I ain't seen Nathan, I'm minding my business. As God is my witness, the weapon gon' prosper that's forming against me. Nigga, I'm starving immensely. Know when I'm done with these songs, you won't miss me. John Moran, I'm on my grizzly. You niggas just cuz, but no, not the ones in the big leagues. After the fall off, I promise I'm coming and selling out Wrigley's.
Well, thanks to this asshole, I've decided to quit smoking today. That's fucking nasty. I can't believe you did that to me.
Anything to help, son.
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate you.
Alright, gentlemen, if I've learned anything in this life, it's when your old lady gets home from going down the road, you get yourself down in the trailer, you fucking clean that thing up a little bit. Reason being is the next time she opens up these doors, she still likes this trailer, because Lord knows we don't want to be buying a 100-foot bloomer on the next one.
I think they sent me the wrong lift kit for the Wrangler here. The back end probably got 3 inches of clearance there. And come to the front. That fucker is tooted. I mean, I got like a full foot, goddamn $5 foot long. Don't know why it's fucking like that, but goddamn.
The customer drove it like this for 4 miles to get to the shop. He said it drove funny.
Yeah, right here. Oh my god. One flew between our heads. One flew between our heads, dude. I am not lying. Don't let him hit you. Oh my god. How far was that off the top of my head? Can you get a picture of it?
Yeah, boy, you gonna be so stubborn. You get that from your mother. I already see it now. You weren't built for back.
I don't get mad at a lot of things, but I'm pretty mad that I'm driving around and there ain't no Polaroid picture of a booty on my dash.
Silence.
On today's episode of Things People in My Household Do to Annoy Me, I had to pee really bad earlier. So I went to the bathroom. Didn't realize the toilet seat was still up because I was trying to focus, focus. And I sat down. And when I tell you, my soul left my body, my ass puckered, And me and Jesus, we had a literal meeting. That wasn't even the worst part though. And by the way, it was a good thing I was already on the toilet, but that wasn't even the worst part. The worst part was that I was suction cupped in there so I couldn't get out. I could not get out. I thought I was gonna have to call the fire department to come do a rescue. I didn't have to pee after that, but somebody in this house getting payback.
Diamonds got them turning heads. I hit the boulevard, candy blue or candy red. I'm breaking necks cause my diamonds got them turning heads.
I have an army. We have a Hulk.
I got a jar of that. I got a jar of that.
Getting gas in 2021 be like.
Okay, lightly.
Oh, it's 22. Sweet. Let's take this. Something's missing. Oh. Don't get on to me. I know everyone has done that at least once, okay? Don't even start with me today, okay? Don't even start.
She got you jumping off the deck, shoveling the overdrive. Highway through the danger zone. Take you riding through the danger zone. Never say hello to you until you're standing on the red light. Oh, hello. You never.
This is the only opportunity you will ever get to look at this thing.
Damn. All the cops. My stupid ass gonna pull up to a pump on goddamn drag slicks. What the fuck?
Yeah, that's just a chicken nugget holder. No big deal. Yeah, this tires are legal too, guys.
Man, I was watching this TikTok talk about I'm rednecker than you. I don't know about you guys, but I was sitting here in my car pondering what redneck means to me. Well, look at here. I got a slightly modified Geo Metro. This thing's got 3 speeds. Here, there, and gone. It's got the power of infinity and beyond.
Oh, stranger.
Still don't know my name. You still don't know my name. And I
This is why I use floaties.
No, I just want y'all to know, hey, I am armed and considered dangerous.
Ty, you don't have to be armed to be considered dangerous.
What is wrong with my 7.3?
Good. 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 Good enough.
I'm faking fragile flower-like, same sweet as a dandelion. Wear that truth and watch me shine like ooh.
Bought a Yeti cooler. I'm interested to see how long before the ice actually melts. Used exactly how Yeti says, then filled with ice and sodas.
I feel like that's just like how a normal John boat is. Right? Like, look at. I'm testing the durability of the glass or the plexiglass because last time we were not stepping on it, but I mean, I literally think you could treat this like a normal floor, but as you can tell, there's a lot of water in it.
Shake hands with danger. Shake hands with danger.
Well, well, well. What might that be? This package right here came from Chino, California. Wonder what it could be. Well, let's take a look. Let's get this thing opened up. I'm gonna try and do a YouTube video too, so let me go do that part of the YouTube video and then we'll come back. All right, what could it be? Let's take a look. Is that a predator? No. What is that? Well, let's pull it out and take a look at it. Well, after some technical difficulties, we are back. So let's take a look at this little guy. So this is, like I said, one of those weird, it's not a clone, but I guess it's a Chinese-built little engine. So it's kind of set up like a Predator. It looks very similar to a Predator 212. It's about the same size as a Predator 212. Only difference is it's obviously a diesel. Decompression lever right here, air filter, which looks really cool. The exhaust, which is really close to that fuel line, so that's probably going to come off in favor of like a stack or something. There's your actual fuel line coming from the tank, which is pretty neat. Your injection pump, your injector, obviously your return line right there. Breather that doesn't have anything on it, so that's kind of interesting. The shaft is 20 millimeter, which I bought this little guy. Let's see, where is it? This is a 7/8, and just for the time being, as you can see, it doesn't really fit, but come on. Once it's on there, and once the set screws are tightened down, I think it'll be okay. It's not going to be the best, but it'll work for this weekend at least. Here's your throttle on this side, which is really neat. I think there's a way to make it so that you can actually run it with like a throttle cable, and I think this is part of it, and then the rest of it's in the box. But there's your throttle. There's your throttle lock. Obviously put some oil in it. Let's see if it actually came with any oil. I don't believe it did. Nope, but it had oil in it, so that's good. At least they didn't run it with no oil. Yeah, I mean, I think this thing is a perfect little candidate for a turbo. No, I'm just kidding. This is a perfect candidate just to throw in something cool and cruise around and use as a little work tractor. It's a 168F, in case if any of you guys are wondering. They really like to use those. Like, this is a 168. The 186 is a 6 horse, I believe. And the 178 is the 10 horse. Don't quote me on that. I believe that's correct, but I honestly don't remember. This comes off somehow. That's kind of flimsy plastic, but it looks pretty cool, so I'm going to give them a pass on that. But all right, next video, we are going to take a look at what machines this thing is going to go in, because this needs to be in a tractor, running and driving by tonight or tomorrow morning to have it done in time for Zagray. So, all right, let's get to work.
Yeah, remember that 2-year-old beauty blender that we cut up? Well, we're gonna take your advice and wash it. Of course, we had to use our adorable beauty blender washer machine, but when we pressed start, it wouldn't budge. So we had to wash it by hand, and this is as clean as it got.
Time to go to my second job. Put this old girl to work. Got some pastures that got sprayed that's full of Johnson grass.
All right, joke of the day. Well, this young boy come downstairs and he told his mom he was ready for breakfast. Well, mama said, you ain't got your chores done, so you don't get no breakfast. The little boy got mad and he went outside and went in the chicken pen, just went throwing feed around, just making a fuss. Well, he went over to the hog pen and just dumped slop all over the place, went to kicking on the hogs and just acting like a butt. Well, he went back inside and he told his mama, he said, all right, I'm done with my chores. I'm ready for breakfast. Well, mama said, I saw what you did in the chicken pen. Just out there kicking them chickens, throwing feed around. So I tell you what, no eggs for you. She said, I saw what you did to them pigs. So no bacon for you either. Well, about that time, Dad come in and this old house cat just tripped him up and old Dad reached back and just kicked that cat across the house. The little boy looked at his mom and said, do you want to tell him or should I? If that don't flip your hay, it's too heavy.
Hey, big 4-5 on my side, I'ma blow the bitch. Glock 9 took the.
So in this video, we're preparing this domestic horse for shoes. So I'm just exfoliating out all the chalky sole that's non-load bearing and looking for that layer of waxy sole that would indicate live load bearing sole. That's going to give me a sole plane, which is how I can determine my horse's medial lateral balance. And also I can determine what the orientation and shape of the coffin bone is that way. And in this case, we're finding nice waxy load-bearing sole, and so that's all the deeper I'm going to go because I don't want this horse to be sore on the rocks or anything like that. Once we've got that, we can go ahead and make a nipper run here and prepare him for shoes. So as I'm preparing this horse for shoes, I'm keeping in mind some of the balance parameters that we saw in the feral horse feet. And when I nip back to the heels, a lot of people are really hesitant and they want their farriers to leave heel on their horse in the name of increasing the AP angle and trying to take some leverage off of their horse's foot. However, the thing about heels is if you don't trim them, they get stretched, and that's even the case in this horse. His heels are long and they've run under and run forward. So it's really important that I bring those heels back to the widest part of the frog. And that's what we're working towards right here. I'm going to go ahead and just show you a couple of other horse feet here. This is one that's shod with breakover advantage. So the shoe actually has some mechanics built into it to put the breakover just that inch ahead of the apex of the frog. Obviously, the heels are brought back to the widest part of the frog, and so the shoe can mechanically provide the same balance parameters that we saw in Jeremiah. Now, this is a perimeter fit horse, and it's not as well balanced, and so you can see the horse has to break over way out at the tip, and that horse does have the advantage of having a fairly decent frog for a domestic horse, but I would prefer to have this horse actually have more mass behind than in front. And really what's happening is, you can see where I'm drawing that mark right now, that's where breakover should occur. But on this shoe, because it's a perimeter fit shoe, it has to go clear out to the edge. Now here's Jeremiah's foot, just for comparison. You can see that real round, nice rolled toe that just happens naturally. Some people call that a Mustang roll. Really just a nice foot, and Jeremiah's being patient there, and that's obviously his hind foot. So we'll let him get up and hang out a bit here.
Now I know what you're thinking, wow, why don't I use this four-wheeler to go do the donut in their yard? So I got that neighbor directly in front of me. That neighbor's good. I like that neighbor. I plow his driveway. The new neighbors are right the fuck down there in the big old house. You can't really see it because of the trees. But yeah, I got this neighbor and that neighbor that don't like me. But I don't use this four-wheeler because the motor's already half blown. And yeah, I've adjusted the valves, and it still sounds like it's a ticking time bomb. But yeah, that's the two neighbors. This is this shit. This is the Yamagay. It doesn't fucking work right. But yeah, if this thing had a fresh new motor in it, oh yeah, I'd be doing that dick and balls in their yard. I'll show you what it sounds like now. That's what it sounds like.
No big, I feel like Pac. I shoot a shot. I'm coming in hot.
Izzy's gonna grab Flicka, take Flicka in so she can eat. And then, can you shut the gate after me? Uh-huh. Where do you think you're going?
If a black person ever calls you cracker, just let them say it. You can say things they can't say either, like, thanks for the warning, officer.
I had a dream that someday I would just fly away. And I always knew I couldn't stay. So I had a dream that I'd just fly away, away, oh, 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 I fly away, oh, oh.
What are you doing in there? You scared of the cows? Come on. Go load up on the Chevy. No, not the trailer. Hey, come here. Get out of there. I know. Cows are scary. Come on. Come on. You can come with me. I'll protect you. Come on. Good job, you baby. Go load up. Good job. There you go. Big baby.
This is my brother's 1978 King Cobra Mustang II. He joined the Army fresh out of high school. Before he left, he built an engine with my dad. It's a 300 to bore 30 over with a cab. The factory for speed. It has almost every part I need to get it running and driving. I'm gonna start restoring it for him and bring all of y'all along with me.
All right, so I was 45 years old when I learned this shit. I figured I better pass it on to you guys too. So you can take any trimmer, gas trimmer anyway, any trimmer that's got a pushing loading head on it. And you've got these tips right here. As long as they line up with the holes, you take your cord, run it straight through, as long as it's cooperating, which it's not because it's crawling up on me. And you're being a cunt. There we go. So, pull it through. I got about 18 feet on here. I'll put a buttload of cord on there because I'll have a lot of weed eating to do. So, just hold the base and start spinning. You'll be good to go. Untwist it a little bit so it don't knot up on you. But man, I can't believe I was so old when I learned how to do this. That's somebody on TikTok showed me, so I figured, hell, I might as well pass on the knowledge. There's a few other videos out there that I've seen guys doing the same thing, but when you get going, I mean, boom, you know, I just kind of rush just to try to do it in due time, but as you can see, it'll pop right on out. Whoop. And you're good to go. That's it, boys and girls.
This thing right here is hands down got to be the biggest pile of crap for these milking robots. Hate it. Well, what does that thing do, you might ask? It pumps the milk, and it's a piece of crap. Why don't they just use a regular pump versus a bladder? So, we're going to get a distiller replacement one and put it in there, because the one in there busted. Finally, I gotta make sure this sensor is dry because this thing can make your life a living hell if you don't have it dried out, and it'll think it's still got a broken bladder. So we're gonna put this back into play. This thing is gonna do a complete wash. To wash everything down inside there and there. Make sure everything is sterile and sanitized, and we're gonna be good to go again.
We've been going steady, and I know I'm ready. Asked your dad, he said he was so cool with that. Spent me a pretty penny. It's got my wallet a little light, but I wanna make your left hand heavier for the rest of your life.
I don't know. I don't really like it either. This is the high-low selector. This is the cruise control on and off. This is to go up and down. This is to pause, resume, or set the cruise control. I don't like this shifter at all. But this is Boss Man's truck, so I don't have to deal with this for much longer. So, like, bye.
When you have to train, so you let them do the dirty work.
If it isn't Mike Honcho himself, shake and bake, buddy! Shake it before you bake it! Here I come. Slingshot engaged.
Hi, how are you? What's happening, little buddy? Hi. Hi, little buddy.
Wipe out. This is where the party's at, this is how we roll. Whoa, we hanging around, singing down everything on the radio. Whoa, we light it up with our hands up. This is how we roll, this is how we do. We burning down tonight, shooting bullets at the moon, baby. This is how we roll. Yeah, baby, this is how we roll. We rolling into town, nothing else to do, we take another.
By golly, you know what Yamaha stands for, don't you? You and me are hauling ass. Get you some, oboe.
How I make your custom cowboy boots fit perfectly. I take petagraphs, tracing, and 8 measurements. I then transfer them to the
In this
last,
town there lived an
adding leather
outlaw
where
by the name
needed,
of Texas
then
Red.
sand it to match the foot.
Many men
Sealer
had
to
tried to
protect.
take him, and that many
Perfect
men
fit.
were dead.
When the axle nut doesn't want to cooperate, we pull out thumper. And it's off.
Attack a cow dog, a good blue one and a black one. And then you gotta holler, hey, 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 watch the boy, get ahead, get ahead, get ahead. Then we catch him on the nose, you say, get out, you son of a bitch, come here, you black bastard. That's how you gotta do that. You can't be hollering, hoo, 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 get it. Not
Hey guys, I just wanted to show you a couple quick tricks and tips for keeping horses hydrated on the road. So the first is feeding them lots of snacks like carrots and apples that have hydration in them. The second is using this bucket, this feed bucket with a hook on the edge, and I'll show you why here in a second. And then I put Winnie water in, which is like a powder that has electrolytes in it and it tastes good for horses and they love it. And then I use this bucket and I hook it on the edge of your horse's window, and then you can actually let go of it and the horse can drink without you holding a bucket above your head.
First trailer just got back from rent. Ramps are there. We're gonna check it out, see if anything broke. It was out for a week and a half. So that's nice. It looks like part of our sticker fell out. No scratches, no dents. I'm gonna let Omar over there see if any of our welds broke. Anything like that.
We represent the Lollipop Guild, the Lollipop Guild, the Lollipop Guild, and in the name of the Lollipop Guild, we wish to welcome you to Munchkin.
Mama always said I was born on the wild side. One foot in the flames and the other trying to walk the line. Can't say I never saw it coming, I can see the warning signs.
I was off in town the other day at the bar, picked up on this old gal, and finally got her talked in going home with me. We get back to my place, I was trying to, knock me a little off. And she just wasn't having it. No. Finally I said, come on, let me put it halfway in. She said, okay. And I'm telling you boys, I laid it to her balls deep. About halfway through it, she says, all right, you can go ahead and put it all the way in now. I said, no, baby, deal's a deal.